Ahoy, footy fans. Las Vegas, out of the way, done and dusted. Round one is going to continue here tonight, though, with the Sydney Roosters taking on the Brisbane Broncos. It's a game that I'm actually excited for. I've got a sneaky little suspicion that this is going to be a lot closer than the media will have you believe. And I'm going to tell you why. First and foremost, if you've been following along, you would think that the Brisbane Broncos this year are the greatest thing since sliced bread. And the Roosters are bound for the wooden spoon. Let me just say, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for the Roosters. And I don't think the Broncos, honestly, are as good as the media are making them out to be. Now, in fairness, the main culprits are Fox. And just do yourself a quick favor. Go and have a little quick Google search. Who owns the Brisbane Broncos? For those who don't know and are curious. That News Corp. The very one and the same. But anyway, it's not about that. We've got a couple of uncertainties here. I don't think that the Roosters are going to be as bad as they're making out, but we don't know. The Broncos, I don't think they're going to be as good as they're making out, but we don't know. There are so many unknowns. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's what I think makes this game so exciting. We don't know what Madge is going to be able to pull off here at the Broncos, and the Roosters, despite losing a lot of talent, still look pretty solid to me. I don't understand all the negativity towards the Roosters and all the positivity towards the Broncos. Preseason. Preseason means nothing. Nobody's trying in preseason. The only team that actually wins in preseason are the team that come through it unscathed with no injuries. Nobody's actually trying. And as a matter of fact, it's a very small sample size. I know it's only been going for a couple of years, but the winner of the NRL preseason competition has actually never made the finals. So take that for what it's worth. As I said, very small sample size, but basically we know nothing about these two teams. We're going to find out a lot of answers tonight, and I'm excited for it. I do think it's going to be close because the Brisbane Broncos have failed to cover the margin 12 out of their last 14 games. And I just sense an ambush here. I don't think the Roosters are going to be as abysmal as it's been made out to be. They've still got a pretty solid team. I mean, let's run through them. Pound for pound, in my opinion, this is actually a pretty evenly contested matchup. James Tedesco against Reece Walsh. I mean, you're having an absolute laugh if you think all round. Reece Walsh is obviously an attacking threat, but defensively absent. James Tedesco is an all-rounder. I think I'm giving the nod there to the Roosters. Tupou and Dominic Young on the wings. Cobbo and Arthurs. Pretty even Stevens. Noanga Tuasi and Robert Toya in the centres against Dane Mariner, the Big D, and Gehamat Shibasaki. God, I hope I'm saying that correctly. But two very inexperienced and just unknown centre pairings. I mean, apart from the Big D, we know what we're going to get from him. A lot of pace. But we also saw enough, or I've seen enough anyway, of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I've seen enough of him in rugby. I know it's a different sport, but that's a quality player right there. They pretty much even each other out. And you've got two rookies, essentially, in the other centre spot. Sandon Smith and Chad Townsend versus Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds. Now, that is where a clear and obvious advantage is for the Brisbane Broncos. But I want to ask this question. Will Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds work well together? Again, it's unknown. We don't know. It's very uncertain yet. Do the Broncos have we heard the expression, too many cooks in the kitchen? Is Ben Hunt going to be able to play that supporting role to Adam Reynolds? Ben Hunt's used to controlling a team at Clubland. He's used to playing that support role at Origin level, but this is Clubland. He's not used to doing that. He's used to being the man. And spare a thought for Corey Pakes. I mean, let's jump to the hookers. Connor Watson, Origin level representative player, Corey Pakes. I mean, I'm sorry, but Connor gets the nod there. That's advantage to the Roosters there at hooker. And the other little uncertainty for Corey Pakes as well. Imagine a scenario. Broncos make a break up field. They're 20 metres out from the line. Adam Reynolds is standing on the left. Ben Hunt is standing on the right. They play the ball. Corey Pakes picks it up. You've got Reynolds screaming for it over on the left. You've got Hunt screaming for it over on the right. Who's he going to pass it to? Too many cooks in the kitchen. And the whole play could come undone. Now the forwards. The forwards is where I honestly do not get the hype around the Brisbane Broncos. Obviously, they've got Pat Carrigan and Payne and the Haas, elite level forwards, representative level forwards, the absolute best of the best. So I understand that, those two. But look outside of that. Jack Gozlowski, or Mike Wazowski, I don't know how to say his name, but I know he's ventured down from the Cowboys, right? Jordan Ricky, a lot of hype, hasn't really delivered. Kobe Hetherington, solid player, but Kevy Walters wanted to get rid of him. Madge obviously sees something in him. But compare that to the Roosters forwards. Lindsay Collins, Naifa'u White, Angus Chrichton, Victor Radley, and Siu Wong. I mean, I'm sorry, but overall, you've got Payne in the Haas, you've got Patrick Carrigan, but overall, as a unit, I'm giving the nod to the Roosters there. I'm happy to be proven wrong. And look, if the Broncos come out and they tear it up and they annihilate the Roosters here, more than happy to cop it from the Brisbane fans who jump into the comment section and go, I told you so. I told you. How dare you write us off? Well, look, in fairness, I'm not writing off the Broncos. Just don't understand the hype at the moment. They're unproven. If they come out and prove it, I will be the first to give them their biscuits. It should be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I don't even want to have a guess at an overs unders. This could be very high scoring. This could be very low scoring. This could be somewhere in the middle. So many unknowns. So I'm going to stick with the line. I really smell an ambush here. And I think that the Roosters are very good value with the line. The Broncos have failed to cover the line in 12 out of their last 14 games. So Roosters to keep it close. If you can get good value on the Roosters with any sort of line margin, I think it's well worth backing. This one could very well go down to the wire. Now, in terms of try scoring threats all over the park, really, for both teams. But one I really want to focus on is Sir Angus. Sir Angus Chrichton for the Roosters. Angus Chrichton, not only has he scored more tries against the Brisbane Broncos than any other club, he has also scored at least one in four out of the last 5 appearances against the Brisbane Broncos. I'm leaning on him again. He had a breakout year last year, or not really a breakout, a return to form, shall we say, a return to his top level form. And I'm looking for him to back that up again in 2025. Sir Angus Chrichton to score himself a try tonight. Brisbane Broncos, once again, there are attacking threats absolutely everywhere. Now, let's just, there's a lot of uncertainty, as I keep saying, but let's just say that this Ben Hunt, Adam Reynolds combination works flawlessly, and the Broncos attack is absolutely firing. Clicks into gear straight away, and they absolutely smoke the Roosters on both edges. As Reece Walsh has got to come into the conversation. Now, Reece Walsh, despite his defensive inability, he is still an attacking threat. If you take away option taking, Reece Walsh is very poor on defense, and he's a very poor option taker. Take that away from him, he is a big attacking threat just purely because of his speed. I mean, they don't call him Reece Lightning for no reason. He's very, very quick, and he is an attacking threat if he is put into open space and doesn't have to make a decision, just has to run. And you've got Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds, two absolute geniuses at setting up a gap, opening up a gap in a defensive line. Reece Walsh could potentially, if all goes well for the Broncos, Reece Walsh will have an absolute field day just playing the Tommy Turbo role, basically, and just lurking around the back of two solid playmakers, two controlling ball-playing halves, and he could run into some monstrous holes in that Roosters defense. If all goes well, look for Reece Walsh to score a try. And even if he doesn't, he's making enough breaks, and there's enough go forward there for the Broncos. It could bring the Big D into the equation. Big D, not as prolific a try scorer in the centres as when he was out on the wing, but that happens. But if there's breaks up the middle, if these little gaps get opened up by Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds, and you've got Reece Walsh running up the middle, that brings either centre into play. The Big D is also a potential for any time try. So, look, those are my predictions for this game. As I said, more than happy to cop it on the chin if I'm proven wrong. There's a particular team that I've pretty much been constantly wrong about for the past 3 seasons. So it certainly wouldn't be the first time. It certainly won't be the last time. Either way, I'm looking forward to this one. It should be a great game. It's great to have the NRL back. I think we can all agree on that. And I'm looking forward to covering all the action here tonight on the Wasted Water Sports with our alternative commentary and our unique blend of covering the game with no affiliation to any club whatsoever in terms of ownership. Obviously, there's teams we like and don't like, but anyway, I digress. Hope to see you tonight on the live stream, Roosters versus the Broncos. I'd like to apologise as well for the lateness of this video. Only a few hours before kickoff is certainly not ideal to get a video up there and released, but things are going on at the moment. If you've heard, there is a tropical cyclone bearing down on the place where I live as we speak. It's on its way, and it should be hitting at some point over this weekend. So I've obviously been making preparations for that, and unfortunately haven't had the chance to get this video out any sooner. Hope you understand. And moving forward, I would hope that these come out on Wednesday nights. Fingers crossed, because that's a lot better. Wednesday nights, and not just the one game. I will actually do a long form and cover the entirety of the weekend. It's just not possible this week. So we'll get back into gear once all this sort of passes over and life goes back to normal. All right, Wasted Water Sports crew. Hope to see you tonight. Catch you then, yeah. Cheers.